Hi there, Andrew Jackson, AJ Design Studio. Got another video which is a continuation of my previous one, which was looking at smoothly creating a Y branch between a circular shape and a trilobular sort of form in the handle. So in this exploration I've decided to add creases, disappearing creases to the equation. So this is my final result here, as you can see. So generally it's a very similar form to the previous video, except I've changed the handle shape, turn our edges on there. So I've introduced two edges, well, two per side, and then mirrored the form over to create the complete form. So I'll just roll back and go over what I've done. So here is the form before I added the corner blends on. So you can see this crease comes up here on the front of the handle and then runs out to nothing, and the same thing happens on the back. So disappearing creases. Okay, let's roll back and just cover this quickly. So I have control sketches for the main form, and then I have a section for the cylinder, extruded the top cylinder, and then created a plane at the bottom here for the handle, and created the handle section, which in this case is 3 arcs. With the widest point, I've defined that because in the previous video there was a part line running up the product there, so I thought just to keep that, sort of bias this shape on the side forwards. Then extruded the handle and then trimmed the top off it, which is the size of the blend from the handle up to the top cylinder. Now I've created two blend sketches, both are which are degree 5 style splines, and I've done that by making these points collinear 1, 2, 3 with this edge rather than using the G2 or the curvature continuous constraint. You end up with the same thing. Okay, and next we're moved on to, this is the trim boundary, so we're going to trim back the main cylinder like so. So I'm going to create a series of surfaces to fill this in. So the first surface is a four-sided boundary, but I've only specified two edges. In this case, curvature continuous, and I have changed the alignment on each side to suit what kind of result I wanted, and then I've changed the tangent influence a little bit, the tangent length, just to fill it out a bit. Okay, so that leaves us with the surface here. So if I turn on zebra stripes, you can see we're going to chop the sides out of this anyway, but you can see it sort of flows up quite well into the top cylinder. Okay, then I've knitted that together, created a plane through this line here because I'm going to create a section here. I've created the outer section for this rear blend, and then I've created the boundary surface there. And again, this section here is a style spline Bezier curve, degree 5 with 6 CVs. And then I've done the same thing on the front, but in this case I've introduced a midsection through here and also another section through here. So there's just no way to control the surface, what the surface wants to do through the middle here, without adding curves. So I know I try and steer away from over defining things, but in this case I decided I had to do that. So if you want to download the file and pick this apart in detail, I will put the file in the description. Yeah, so the reason I added these extra sections in here was because I was getting this top edge here was getting a bit sort of curving over on itself, kind of like a dried up leaf. So by introducing this section here, it sort of straightened things out. Okay, next up, knit that together. Now we're going to trim the central span back using a sketch. And because I've knitted it together, I'm going to split the face, as you can see there, split lines, and then delete face. And now I'm going to move on to creating this rear blend. So I've created some construction geometry here, which are lines which are parallel to this edge here. This one here is parallel to the central axis, and then I have a distance that those are offset, and the actual section that goes through there is, again, wait for it, degree 5 Bezier curve with 6 CVs. Okay, and again, because we're matching up to a line, I've just made these points 1, 2, 3 collinear. I talked about that in the previous video a bit more, so watch that if you want to find out why I'm doing this instead of using curvature continuous constraint. Okay, now I've just created some points in a 3D sketch, which I'm just going to use those points to create planes normal to a curve. So you can see those planes there, and then I'm adding some cross sections in, which these cross sections degree 3, so they've got 4 CVs. Because I only need 1, 2, 3 points here, I'm making them curvature continuous constraint to this intersection curve. I've intersected it with the resultant piece of our central span surface, and on this end I don't want a CV floating around. I just I've added a point that is pierce point relationship to this earlier section, so these intersect with each other. So if you change this sketch here, the curvature of this cross curve, so to speak, will change. Okay, and I've added another section there as well, as you can see. Similar thing. Now we're going to carry on with the front section, which is pretty much built the same way. And there's only one section going across on this one. I decided it didn't need to be as have as much construction as this surface here. Okay, then I've knitted everything together, so that takes us through to the point where we've got sharp creases that run up the handle and then disappear into the main form, as you can see. Okay, so the edge blends are created by making a sweep, and the sweep is using circular profile. So I've selected with the selection manager, I've selected the edges up the side here, and then in options make sure merge tangent faces is on, and 3mm diameter, and then extended the end of that sweep, and then use that sweep to create split lines in the faces, and then we've gone in and deleted those faces like so. Then at the bottom of the handle I've created sections which are again degree 5 Bezier curve, 6 CVs, curvature continuous constraint on each edge, because we're matching up to an arc this time. I just can't line up the CVs. Collinear, put a collinear constraint on there, and then I've made each of the control polygon segments equal length and extruded it, and same on the rear, and then trimmed off the ends of the extrudes so they match up nicely across here. And I've created a 3D sketch. I'm going to create planes through these points of the 3D sketch. So if I want to move those planes around, I can just double click the 3D sketch and change those dimensions, rather than using point on edge with the percentage, because then you actually have to go into the point and edit it rather than double clicking on it. It's just a bit slower. And those planes are normal to this edge. And then I've created some cross curves, as you can see. And these cross curves, each of the control polygon segments are equal length relationship, so there's no dimensions in there. And created a boundary surface. And I've repeated the same thing at the rear, like so. And then knitted everything together. And last thing to do is just to create some planar faces to cap off the cylinder at the bottom of the handle, and mirror everything over. Okay, and mirrored surfaces. And last thing, when you knit surfaces and there's sort of primitive forms like this cylinder here, make sure you go merge entities, because that will get rid of the extra surface joins there. And lastly, thicken. So thicken, because it's a closed watertight volume, create solid from enclosed volume. Don't know why I've got merge result on, there we go. Okay, so that's the finished form there. There's a few little gremlins in here I could probably spend more time sorting out. Like you can see, there's a bit of a deviation in that zebra as it crosses that boundary. But generally it's looking pretty good. Probably next thing I'd try doing would be putting a variable pipe around the section here, just to create a bit more definition in the crease here as it runs out. I wouldn't treat it like if you put a radius though, which would come to a point. I mean, maybe just 2/3 the width or something there. So there you go, that's Y branch blend, but with creases. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. Andrew Jackson, AJ Design Studio. See ya.